So all these players have to decide by January 16th, I believe, is the date for early entry into the NFL draft. So where do you think that stands?
You know, I've talked with Blake a lot actually, and he a lot of people have asked me, like, you know, he says he's 50-50. There's no way he's really 50-50. I really do think he's undecided, you know, whether it's 60-40, 40-60, you know, whatever you want to put their percentage at, he really still is weighing all of his options here. And so, you know, I think there was probably not much doubt in his mind before the injury versus Illinois that he would be, you know, he would have been coming off of a Heisman, at least going to New York, if not winning the whole dang thing. And then I think you go to the draft. Well, the injury puts a wrinkle in everything. And now, you know, he's really weighing his options. You know, there's a lot to think about. It's, you know, running backs are not taken as highly as they used to be in the NFL, especially injured ones and especially older ones, right? And so that part is a piece of it. There also is, you know, the fact, and this is where Blake Corum is different than a lot of other college football players in the world of 2022 college football, is he cares about his team. So he's talking to his teammates. Do we, like, who's coming back? Do we think we're able to go make another run? That is a factor. He's not about himself. He's obviously factoring in himself, but like he, you know, there have been words said by him, like, I don't want to be greedy, you know, like I want to make this decision with multiple people in mind, not just myself. And so he's thinking about what this Michigan football team looks like in 2023 and what that run could look like. And honestly, his teammates are looking at that too. I think there are some teammates that are like, if Blake comes back, I'm coming back because we're all in. And so there's a lot to this decision for Blake Corum. I think ultimately in the next probably week or so, he will make a decision, and we'll look to see. I won't blame him either way. Either way is a good decision for him. You know, but I think that ultimately it's going to come down to, does he want to make one more run at a national title here at Michigan? Does he want to have a Heisman campaign, you know, once again, and hopefully solidify himself as one of the greatest running backs in Michigan history, and also set himself up for the future? You know, NIL will definitely have a big impact in this as well, which is, you know, if you're a college football fan, this is where NIL rules, because a guy like Blake Corum would never probably think about coming back because he's got to go, you know, set his family up and cash a paycheck. Now he can cash a paycheck here in college as well. And I think NIL will have a big impact if he is, you know, ultimately choose to return to Michigan.
Andrel Anthony won't be making that run with his former teammates. Most likely you can always come out of the transfer portal, and it happens, but it's got to be less than 5% of the time. So he's made his decision to go into the transfer portal. I probably tend to overrate Andrel Anthony because he splashed so fast and so hard against Michigan State in the game in 2021. But he was just a guy that didn't necessarily work into the rotation on a regular basis.
Yeah, incredibly talented kid. Tall, fast. He's got all the skill sets that you need to be a really good receiver in the Big Ten, in college football in general. But I think that ultimately, like, let's be honest, if you're a wide receiver at Michigan and you're not one of the top guys, you know, it's a run the ball situation, you know. And so I think ultimately he looked at that and said, you know, I think there probably is a better opportunity for me to showcase my skill set somewhere else. And I don't blame him for that. You know, I think a lot of people thought that Andrel Anthony not only would have a bigger role in 2021 after that Michigan State game, but you looked into 2022 and said, all right, he's really going to have his breakout year. And it just never happened. And I see a couple different things with that. You know, should he have gotten more opportunities to catch the ball? Well, you look at the second half against TCU, and it's like they should have been slinging it a lot, you know? And so I think you could say, yes, he should have had more opportunities to you know, get targets. But unfortunately, when he did get targets, the most wasn't made out of it, right? And so I think that it was both sides of the coin there. Like, you could say he should have gotten more targets, but when he did get those opportunities, then, you know, catches weren't made or things were like that happened. And so I love the kid. Very nice kid, super shy, was down to earth and not cocky whatsoever. Confident in himself for sure. But like ultimately, I do think he talked to his teammates a lot about this situation. It wasn't a situation like Eric Hall or Cade McNamara where they were probably checked out midway through the season. He sat down with a lot of his teammates at the end of this year and said, what do you think is the best situation for me? And he truly was thinking, if his guys said, like, I think that you could be a dog here next year and you'll be a big part of it, then I think that he would have stayed. But ultimately, I think that, he did that pros and cons list, thought long and hard about it, and said, there are a lot of other teams that would probably use me as a number one wide receiver right now, and I can showcase my stuff and go get to the NFL. Because with the body he has, he's an NFL talent. I really do truly believe that. And so he's going to go somewhere and prove that. And there might be a lot of Michigan fans that say, dang, we could have used that in Michigan's offense in 2023 or 24.
7 catches and a touchdown this past season, 12 catches and 3 touchdowns in 2021.